So our next topic is renewable and non-renewable resources. Ecosystem act as a resource producer and producers. Solar energy is the main driving force of ecological system, providing energy for the growth of plant and forest, grassland and aquatic ecosystem. A forest recycles its plant's material slowly by continuously returning its dead material, leaves, branches, etc. to the soil. Grasslands recycle material much faster than forests as the grass dries up after the rain are over every year. All the aquatic ecosystem are also solar energy dependent and have cycles of growth when plant life spreads and aquatic animals breed. The sun also drives the water cycle. Our food comes from both natural and agricultural ecosystem. Traditional agriculture ecosystem that depends on rainfall have been modified in recent time to produce more and more food by the addition of extra chemicals and water from irrigation system, but are still dependent on solar energy for the growth of the crops. Moreover, modern agriculture creates a variety of environmental problems which ultimately lead to the formation of unproductive land. These include irrigation, which leads to development of saline soil, and the use of artificial fertilizer eventually ruins soil quality, and pesticides, which are health hazard for human as well as destroying components vital to the long-term health and agricultural ecosystem. To manufacture consumer products, industry requires raw material from nature, including water, minerals, and power. During the manufacturing process, the gases, chemicals, and waste products pollute our environment. Unless the industry is carefully managed to clean up this mess. So the unequal consumption of natural resources is a major part of natural resources and our resources are today consumed in the technologically advanced or developed world, usually termed the North. The developing nations of the South, including India and China, also overuse many resources because of their greater human population. However, the consumption of resources per capita of the developed countries is up to 50 times greater than in most developing countries. Advanced countries produce over 75% of global industrial waste and greenhouse gases. Energy from fossil fuels is consumed in relatively much greater quantities in developed countries. Their per capita consumption of food too is much greater as well as their waste for enormous quantity of food and other products such as packaging material used in the food industry. The USA, for example, with just 4% of the world's population, consumes about 25% of the world's resources. Producing animal food for human consumption require more land than growing crops. Thus, countries that are highly dependent on non-vegetarian diet need much larger area for pasture land than those where the people are mainly vegetarian. So the planning land uses the land itself is a major resource needed for food production, animal husbandry, industry, and for our growing human settlements. These forms of intensive land use are frequently extended at the cost of wild land. Our remaining forests, grasslands, wetlands, and deserts. Thus, it is essential to evolve a rational land use policy that examines how much land must be made available for different purpose and where it must be situated. For instance, there are usually alternate sites at which industrial complexes or dams can be built, but a natural wilderness cannot be recreated artificially. Scientists today believe that at least 10% of the land and water bodies of each ecosystem must be kept as wilderness for the long-term needs of protecting nature and natural resources. Land as a resource is now under serious pressure due to the increasing land hunger to produce sufficient quantity of food for an exploding human population. It is also affected by degradation due to misuse. Land and water resources are polluted by industrial waste and rural and urban sewage. They are increasingly being diverted for short-term economic gains to agriculture and industry. Natural wetlands of great values and being drained for agriculture and other purposes. Semi-arid land is being irrigated and overused. The most damaging change in land use is demonstrated by the rapidity which, with which forests have vanished during recent times, both in India and in the rest of the world. Forests provide us with a variety of services. These include processes such as maintaining oxygen level in the atmosphere, removal of carbon dioxide, control over water rain, and slowing down erosion, and also produce products such as food, fuel, timber, fodder, medicinal plants, etc. in the long term. The loss of these is far greater than the short-term gains produced by converting forested, for, forested land to other use. The need of sustainable lifestyle. The quality of human life and quality of ecosystem on the earth are indicators of sustainable use of resources. There are clear indicators of sustainable life and human life. The first one is increased longevity, then an increase in knowledge. The third is the enhancement of income. These three together are known as the Human Development Index. The quality of ecosystem have indicators that are more difficult to assess. The first is a stabilized population. The second is the long-term conservation of biodiversity. The third is the careful long-term use of natural resources. And the fourth is the presentation of degradation and pollution of environment. So these were this was about the natural resources and the associated problem, then like how we can use the land, how we can plan the land use, and what are the what is the sustainable lifestyle we need and why we need it. So next, starting to the non-renewable resources. So the non-renewable resources, these are minerals that have been formed in the lithosphere over millions of years and constitute a closed system. These non-renewable resources, once used, remain on the earth in a different form and unless recycled, became waste material. Non-renewable resources include fossil fuels such as oil and coal, which is extracted at a present rate, will soon be totally used up. The end product of the fossil fuel are in the form of heat and mechanical energy and chemical compound, which cannot be constituted as resources. And the renewable resources, though water and biological living resources are considered renewable, they are in fact renewable only within certain limits. They are linked to natural cycles such as the water cycle. The fresh water, after being used, is evaporated by sun's energy. Just wait for a minute. Guys, just wait for a minute and then we'll start with renewable resources again.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, so the renewable resources, though water and biological living resources are considered renewable, they are in fact renewable only within certain limits. They are linked to natural cycles such as the water cycle. Fresh water, even after being used, is evaporated by the sun's energy, forms water vapor, and is reformed in the cloud and falls to earth as rain. However, water sources can be overused or wasted to such an extent that they locally run dry. Water resources can be so heavily polluted by sewage and toxic substances that it becomes impossible to use the water. Forests, once destroyed, take thousands of years to regrow into fully developed natural ecosystem with their full complement of species. Forests thus can be said to be have like non-renewable resources if overused. Fish are today being over-harvested until the catch has become a fraction of the original resource and the fish are incapable to breeding successfully to replenish the population. The output of agricultural land, if mismanaged, dropped drastically. When the population of the species of the plant or the animal is reduced by human activities until it cannot reproduce fast enough to maintain a viable number, the species become extinct. Many species are probably become extinct without us even knowing, and other linked species are affected by their loss. So basically, this was about the renewable resources. In the next class, we will be studying about the forest resources, about the deforestation and water resources and so on. For now, I'm giving you an assignment. Complete that assignment. It includes all the three lectures we have done till now. Just go to the assignment tab in your classroom, and there you will find out what you have to do. Complete it today and submit it to me by 11. Stay in the class. If you have any problem, you can ask me.
Okay, ma'am.
I have dictated few questions in the last class, in the first class. Anyone remembers that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so they just repeat those questions, what I have told you to do.
मैम वो क्वेश्चन मेरे पास अभी नहीं है.
Okay, ठीक है, I'm repeating the questions. Write down the definition of environmental studies. The second is explain the scope and importance of environmental studies. Third is what are the natural resources? And what are the associated problems to it? So these are the basic questions you have to do right now. Make a separate, like you can use your A4 sheets or make a notebook out for it, in which you can write your notes and do the questions as well. So I'll prefer you make a notebook so at the end you have a proper notes regarding this. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that's it for today. Start working. You have everything. You have your notes. You have your book. Go through that. But then, too, if you have any problem, do ask.